to Remote Learning with Mrs. Camacho. I'm here today to talk about the new normal for the school year 2020, starting this fall. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to prepare your little early childhood learners for the new normal, whether it's in person or remote learning. So here we go. The first thing you want to start having conversations about, maybe you have already, with your little early childhood learner, is that, the importance of staying safe and healthy, right? So ensuring that they understand that, staying clean, keeping your hands clean, keeping your masks on, and keeping a distance away from people is going to keep them healthy, as well as keeping the other person healthy, right? So that's the first thing that you really want to start implementing and talking to with your little learner. So first is first, I am going to be talking to you about in-person learning. So if you are opting to have your child go to school in person, it's going to give you a few tips. It's going to help you to stay sane about them being safe, right? So I know that with all that's going on, it's kind of hard not to worry, right? So first thing is first is keeping the mask on. So you want to talk to them that when they're in school, they must keep their masks on, and it's for their safety as well as the other people around them safety, right? So that's first things first. So what I would suggest is that if you are home, start practicing how to keep the mask on. Every once in a while, put it on, keep it on. Remove it, of course, because you don't need to have it on when you're home, but it's just a form of practicing on the length of time that they can have the mask on. Another thing is that you want to talk to them about is do not share their belongings. I know that with early childhood, a big thing is sharing is caring, right? But for now, we want to push that little motto aside, and we want to ensure that they understand that their safety is at risk if they share their belongings, and not to also take something that doesn't belong to them, right? So we want to start talking to them about keeping their own stuff at their desks, with them at all times. So we cannot share crayons, we cannot share pencils, we cannot share erasers, markers, none of those items, because they are personally yours, and it's for safety reasons. So those are the things that you want to start explaining to them. Another thing is keeping the distance, right? So I know children gravitate to one another. They want to see their friends. They haven't seen their friends for months. So they're going to want to gravitate and go and hug their friends. And it's going to be difficult at first to keep them away. But it's very important that you start talking to them now about having to keep their distance, and that they can wave hello to their friends and give a silent little cheer when they see them to show that they're excited to see them, right? Another thing is we will be implementing hand cleaning and hand sanitizing very often. So we want to talk to them about the importance and the reason why we will be doing that in school often is to prevent us from getting sick, obviously, and staying safe and staying healthy. Another thing is, and this is the last tip, so make sure that they listen very carefully and learn and follow the teacher's directions as far as safety is concerned. So the teacher will implement some specific rules about how to stay safe and what that's going to look like and what they are. So it's important that the little learners learn to really listen and follow the instructions very carefully and to learn them, because it's going to keep them safe, it's going to keep their friends safe, and it's going to keep the teachers safe as well. Okay, so those are 5 tips that I have for in-person learning. So I'm going to just run through them again. Keeping the masks on, keeping their distance from their friends, from people that they're communicating with, sanitizing, keeping their hands clean often, and making sure that they listen very carefully to teachers' instructions as far as the safety is concerned. Okay, and yes, also I forgot. No sharing of their belongings to their friends. So they cannot share and they cannot take their friends' items. So those are the things that's going to keep them safe and healthy. So now let's dive into remote learning tips, right? So if you opted for your little early childhood learner to do remote learning, so here are some tips that's going to help you to keep them on top of things and being able to follow the instructions of the teacher, right? So first thing is first is making sure that you have a schedule for them. So keeping a tight schedule is going to allow them to be very successful because they're going to know what to anticipate next, right? So what I mean by schedule is a bedtime schedule, a wake up time schedule, breakfast, when to log on, work time schedule, playtime schedule. So everything should be in a specific order and consistent because it's going to help them be successful in doing their learning. Okay, so that's 1. 2 is logging into the sessions at the specific time that is required. So if the remote teacher is going to do a reading lesson at 9 and it's live, and be sure that you log in, and if there's an activity that follows after, be sure to complete it and then submit it to the teacher and let the child know what is going on and how this works, so that they're have some small accountability to their own learning. I know it sounds a lot for like a 5-year-old, 4, 5, 6-year-old, but this is what they would be doing if they were in class anyway, right? So another thing is having the workspace available for them. And the workspace should be well lit. The workspace should have all the materials that they need in order to complete the activities. The workspace should also have the free from noise, free from distractions, right? And then the next tip is, I'm just repeating this again, but completing the tasks when they are due, because this teaches the little early learners about accountability. Like if they have something to do, they need to get it done and they need to show that they did it, right? And then last is ensuring that the child receives their gym, their exercise time, their play time. You want to schedule that into their day because it's something that they would be doing if they were in school anyway, right? So maybe perhaps they have a gym teacher who will be submitting some sort of exercise that they do, and he requires or she requires that you film the child, and that is the assignment. Then just be sure that that is being completed when it's asked. So these are just some few tips that I have. I will be uploading weekly information regarding remote or in-person learning, and I will be also starting to make videos on things that you can do at home with your child.